Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Coughing Ring. Coughing.
You tacked it on at the end, which is sort of mayor cheat, but
I'm running out of options.
Shouldn't it just be
Josh.
cough ring? Cough ring.
Well, then I was trying to make the coughing, the ing of coughing into green for green ring. Maybe it should have been green coughing. No, that doesn't work. AKA Tanner Greenring, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Fieli Kid.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's very good.
AKA Joshua Fielstead. And we are joined for the first time this week by Drew Leith.
Ooh,
That's nice.
Drew Leith.
AKA Drew Scheid. Welcome to the show, Drew.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Are you a Growlithe or a Growlithe guy?
Growlithe. I'm a Growlithe. That's why I got confused.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
is that a pun off
Drew
Leafeon?
Lith.
I learned that when I used to be Growlithe, and then people have really come at us about that one. It's
Wait, is it actually Growlithe?
I'm going to plant
No, it's
my
Lith. It's Growlithe.
flag in the ground and just confidently keep saying Growlithe.
Growlithe.
As you're wont
until
to
the day
do.
I die.
I've learned
Yeah.
so many Pokemon names, like the actual pronunciations of names, just over time, and then I'm like, what was I saying? Like what?
Yeah, we get corrected a lot. Or, sorry, I get corrected a lot by
don't
the
think I
catchers
miss
on my
either.
mispronunciations. But
Well, you double down, and I try to learn from my mistakes, but
oh, no.
that's our whole
No,
thing.
that's not really my style. Drew, thank you for coming on the show. Bug Catchers, Drew is a Pokemaniac who also happens to be an actor that you may have seen in films like Halloween or TV shows like
Mayor of
Fear Street.
Easttown.
You were in Fear Street Part 2, right? Mayor of Easttown.
Oh yeah. I was trying to think of a pun with like Pumpkaboo or something. Pumpkaboo would be in the Halloween movies
Definitely.
for sure.
I like Pumpkaboo.
Yeah, Mask.
I feel like last time we talked about Pumpkaboo, you had bad things to say about it.
Pumpkaboo's
Me?
a sweetie.
Josh.
Um,
Oh no, I'm thinking
I don't
thinking of
think
someone
so.
else.
That's a straight up sweet.
Yeah, I just want to lay a ground rule: no Pumpkaboo slander for
Yeah.
from here on out. All right, or I'm walking.
It's fun to say. Number
It
one,
is. That's why I get the point. 2, it's cute. 3, it's
Pumpkaboo.
a spooky pumpkin with a nice face on its belly.
It's got like double nice face. It's got like
It
a
does,
sweet
yes.
little cat face,
It's
and
a
then
smile
also
and then a
the
smile.
jack-o'-lantern one. Yeah.
How can you hate that?
Every
guy?
single one of our guests comes in here and they're like, Tanner, you're not allowed to talk shit about X Pokemon.
Everyone's got a new. Yeah, it's gonna be hard when someone's like, "Don't talk shit about Leavanny, guys. Don't leave Annie." Please.
But
don't
we'd
talk
have a
shit about
problem
my
if
girl.
someone said that Leavanny is not sexy, which
Yeah,
obviously,
those are fighting words.
yeah.
They're fighting
What a
words.
sexy
Hey,
Pokemon.
listen. We can't lie. You know, sky's blue. Leavanny's hot.
Hell yeah.
So you have been playing along with us. I mean, it's only Gym 2, so it hasn't been the longest journey in the world. But tell us about your character and your journey in the Unova region
I've
so
been
far.
having a lot
And
of
is this
fun.
your first time too with Black and well, is it Black 2 or White 2? And is it your first time with this?
It is white too. I had to remember because black and white's easy to remember because it's like you get Zekrom if it's white and then Reshiram if it's black, and then like black and white too, it's like you get the Pokemon that is white. Like
Yeah,
they're
that was
literal with the
confusing.
title because that's why I got white because I was like, oh well, I want Zekrom again. But
Some new thing.
this is probably like the third time I played it through. I didn't
Wow.
get this game till like probably like 5 years after it was released because I personally thought I was like, that's so lazy. Like with the other games, it was like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, where I was like, okay, it's a third thing. And then, know, the gold, silver, Sapphire. And then like this, I was like, Black 2, White 2, they're not even trying anymore.
Right.
And then I didn't even like, look into it at all.
The third games are all just like the same game as the first two games with some like minor improvements and the full decks.
Yeah, it's like the premium.
But this one is like a full-on sequel. Like
This
it's an
is
entirely
I
different
know. This
story.
is. I was so surprised when I got it at a GameStop in Atlanta, and they don't have those anymore. I was at a GameStop semi recently, and they don't have like the Game Boy like section where it's just like here it's in this case, and you can buy
Oh, really?
old Pokemon games for like $20, and it's like the two I went into, they don't have them anymore.
Yeah, I think it's pretty rare now.
It's pretty rare.
You have to go to like Brooklyn at least has like a fair amount of just straight up only used video games.
Straight up,
stores,
it's
which
like this
great.
is all GameCube and Wii games. And
I
they're
love
solid
going to
price.
those, although it's problematic for my financial situation.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get the Pokemon Ranger. I was looking along on the pictures, like the Pokemon Rangers are so cool, and I want to get that. I was trying so hard
that
not
was
to
a
get
big
that game.
reason. I was like, I feel like a like anthropologist with this game, where I needed to take more photos than I normally would, so that people could actually see what this thing looks
cool.
like.
And people don't know that those Ranger games are like so different. That
entirely different games.
So different games, and like great stories, and they're funny, and they're well animated, and you can walk around with a Pokemon. That's always any game where you can walk around is like, that's an automatic 8.
Where Pokemon follow you around?
Pokemon follow you around, great. That's all I want for every game. And
yeah, we love those ones. Although I will say we're having a lot of fun, or at least I won't speak for Josh, but I think Black and White 2 is better than
This does seem like
Black and White. And I was, because I was mentioning to you guys earlier, where like Black and White came out when I was thinking about it. I was in 8th grade when Black and White came out. Mm-hmm. And I spent my first I did like a community, it was like the first community theater show I did, and I got like a little paycheck from it, and I spent all of it on Black and White.
Good.
That was like my big, like at the end of the show, and I loved it, and I played it like so much, and then I was like, every single time you guys were like, I don't like this, I'm like, well, when I was 13 I thought it was really cool.
Was that your first game? I mean, a lot of what we talked about was that it was this kind of soft reset, and then we know that,
yes,
especially from the comments we got, it was a lot of folks like actual first entry into it.
I think so. I think it was. Yeah. It made so much, and it is like, it's totally its own. It's one of the few games where it's just like Black and White, just like there, you don't see anything from any generation until after the Elite Four. And I don't think Hoenn, I guess, but Hoenn, I think you still see like other ones from other games, but.
Yeah,
I think it was the first game.
It's the first one where they're just everything's
like, this is
out
its own thing.
New.
It's very similar, but it's its own. We got a garbage.
Oh, I gotta say though, it's so nice seeing some of the old Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4 Pokemon in this game.
And the Gen 5 Pokemon, I think, look better next to them.
Yeah,
like weirdly, it's like,
I think you're right.
Yeah, once you get to see everyone translated into the same graphical style, it feels better. That it did. Yeah. They all look, it's doing favors for Gen 5.
Right, man.
So you got your first acting gig in a community theater role, got a small paycheck from it, bought Pokemon, and then you're like, I need more money to keep buying Pokemon games. I better keep acting.
And only spend it on Pokemon games.
Wow. So Pokemon is really the Drew Scheid origin story.
It did. They did go hand in hand. I didn't realize that until listening to you guys talk about, and then I was just thinking about like the first times I was playing it, and like it was definitely like first time like I'd stay up till like 4 a.m. playing a video game, like during finals in middle school, and like I'm like, I don't care, I gotta beat N. You guys gotta go.
I remember very distinctly that game for me was Resident Evil 2. Like I remember being probably 13 and just staying up till like 4 a.m, just like
I gotta know how this ends.
Playing Resident Evil 2. Yeah, exactly.
What's gonna happen?
Was probably StarCraft was my original problem, but then it was StarCraft, Broodworm, Diablo 2, and The Sims was a big problem when that first came out.
Diablo 2, yeah. That was a big game that other people showed me. They're like, hey, you want to see something freaky? And then we're gonna fight the devil.
Oh yeah.
That actually makes it sound pretty rad. So you tell me a little bit about your character.
Yes, and I want to say, because I'm having so much fun playing Black and White 2, especially not in Kingslocke. It's a really great game when you don't have to Kingslocke it.
I could see that. Yeah,
it's pretty great. But I was so inspired by the first episode of like the work you guys put in and all and everything and the rules. I couldn't even, like, my eyes glazed over after reading the first 2 pages, and but I was like impressed and I wanted to try it, but I didn't have all the materials. And then I listened to the episode and I was like, I'm gonna reset, do a Nuzlocke, and so I started over with a Nuzlocke. I am Dr. Ew. I'm
Dr. Ew.
And my opponent is EXP Share, spelled like Cher, the artist.
Oh wow.
And he is my rival.
Great.
You guys are my rivals. I've had a solid Nuzlocke. Honestly, I've only lost. I lost my Purloin, which is my first one I caught. Oh, and then I had a question because I tried to Google it because I wasn't sure with Nuzlocke, because it's like you catch first Pokemon in the area, and I caught one in the first area, and then when you go down, so after the first part, when you pass like the hiker, and then you go down to like the double grass after you beat the first gym.
Right, on the way to Virbank.
Would that be considered a new area-ish? Because it's like there's new Pokemon there, and you have to do like an in-game thing.
It's a good question.
I didn't.
For the sake of Kingslocke, I don't think either of us counted as a new area.
Because it's still Route 20.
It is still
like,
Route
overall.
20, but you're getting like totally different
it's a good point.
Encounters.
It's a new mix. Yeah.
It is a new mix.
It's got new Pokemon, and it's also like after a gate. Like that hiker guy stops you from getting
you
down
have
there
to do
first.
an in-game thing. So I might have little bit cheated in the Nuzlocke just because
Light Mayor cheating.
That's okay.
I brought I got the Pidove, and then I got a Venipede in the double grass, who's
That's okay.
favorite.
You'll just forever be branded as Mayor Cheat.
Mayor Cheat. Even when I win with my team, I will have to wear this
There'll just
heavy,
be a big asterisk.
awful crown, a dunce cap.
I also think I may have cheated this week, and I know Josh did because he texted me earlier this week and told me he did.
I did not. Well, I made another mistake, but I admitted to my mistake, and it made my life worse. So, is that cheating? That sounds like honesty.
It sounds like you cheated and then got punished.
Well, I misinterpreted. Yeah. I think I clearly interpreted all of the rules this week, but the mistake, which I'll address at some point this episode, was, I mean, I guess I could say what it was, which is that the death card that I had been talking about was an 8 up top. So when I originally did it, because like I said, I'm unfamiliar with tarot, so I didn't know what was going on. And then in the last episode, in the premiere, I was like, oh, I got this 8. And then it's got death down at the bottom. And what it meant was I had to box my Pokemon that had been on the team the longest. And then when I was going back through after I drew some other card this week, at the beginning, I was like, wait a second. Death is its own card and it's major arcana, and it means that any Pokemon that faints is boxed indefinitely. So it's worse.
Forever?
It's boxed until I think like the sun, if you draw the sun or you draw death again or something, they cancel each other. So I've got 2 mon.
So you're just playing a Nuzlocke
in the
now.
Ether. Basically.
You're playing a Nuzlocke, but it's more challenging.
Well, you can also bump the, because you can only have 3, although that changed for me this week. You can normally only have 3 major arcana cards, and so eventually it will be the oldest one, and then you draw another, and then it's bumped off, and then they're free, I think, as well. Okay. But they're in the Ether. So.
Whew. What a journey. I should also say, just quickly, we won't sit and litigate Kingslocke rules
I know,
with you the entire time, Drew, but
I am fascinated, but I still, like, this is the second time, like, because we talked about it a little bit before, and I still was like, I was kind of processing. I was like, what? I was like, which, because I'm also unfamiliar with tarot. This is sort of my, I Google cards.
And Drew, is this your first? Also, I just realized Dr. Ew Drew.
Dr. Drew. I'm a doctor, and I'm experimenting with Nuzlocke.
Dr. You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week is who's gross. I think Elekid's a stinker.
Oh yeah, Elekid isn't great.
I liked him this week.
Okay.
I mean, I had him as Joshy's sweetie, controversially.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Okay.
Josh bomb.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was going to ask, is this your first Nuzlocke as well, Drew? Or had you done that?
I pretty recently I kind of got into Nuzlocks. I think like back like in like the summer, I think I was like, let me try. I don't know why I didn't want to try it before, but I was always like, I think because I tried it like a couple years ago, and then I immediately like lost whatever Cyndaquil or something, and I was like, well, I want to. What the fuck? I was like, this
Tanner
sucks.
lost his starter on the first Nuzlocke
I
we
lost
did.
my Charmeleon.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
It's
brutal.
so
Tom York, the Charmeleon. It will stay with me forever.
It's so heartbreaking.
How much Pokemon have you played?
I've played pretty consistently since like my older brother. I attribute it to him because like he was super into it growing up, and so like by the time I came along, he already had like all the games, and we had 2 Game Boys, so it's like he could play one, then I could play one, and then he was like, "You here, try this one, try Crystal, try Yellow," and I was so into those, and then that was like the only game I kind of just wanted, and I asked like I was like for Christmas, I was like can I get Diamond, and they're like, yeah, Diamond, and that was it. I think my parents were just like, it's not a Modern Warfare, it's not a Call of Duty, like great, yeah, please, yeah. It's not Diablo,
it's wholesome.
just sure keep catching them.
Do you fight Satan at the end of the game, son?
You gotta fight Arceus.
Well, and Diamond kinda with that Giratina.
Yeah. I do fight the devil, but I win. And then there's definitely been like big breaks, definitely like in high school, where it was like people were like, you play Pokemon? I'm like, no, and then secretly it was. But definitely like I'll probably play a game like every 2 months or something, like pick up like Heart Gold and then play it through and then wait a month and then pick up another one and then reset it. And then it's like my big like playing activity, hanging out, watching TV, just like it's just great to I've had my 2DS since probably 2015.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have the classic, the Wedge 2DS.
The Wedge. And I'm mad because I want Pokemon Ranger, but this doesn't hold styluses because a TSA agent dropped it by accident. So it doesn't hold styluses anymore, and it's kind of open because
Drew, you're a successful actor. It might be time to upgrade to
a 3DS.
DS.
And it almost didn't turn on a while ago, so I was like, oh shit. But I love I love the 2DS. It's so weird.
I think that looks really fun. It doubles as a doorstop, I can tell.
I do. I put drinks on it.
Yeah, I tried to start playing this one on the 3DS again, and then somehow, when I moved last year, I guess I lost the charger for that because it uses a different one than the DS Lite that I have. So, but I got it. I just ordered another one because I found out about this Unova link or memory link, where there's some continuity where if you've beaten Black and White and you connect the two DSs with your Black 2, White 2 cartridge. I found this out from Pokemon Crossroads, shout out on Twitter. You can connect them, and it will do this some kind of light thing where certain characters will have different dialogue, and there will be additional cutscenes, like Alder has one, that trigger at certain points. So you'll get more like backstory of what happened in the past 2 years since then. So I will be doing that going forward. But
that is cool.
Do they explain why Sharon is all of a suddenly a gym leader?
Like not a loser. He was a loser again because we beat him into a pulp last week. But hopefully, I think he has one. I don't know where it triggers though. But I believe we're not done with him. I don't like the 3DS anymore though. I think the Lite is the
My eyes
one.
hurt. My eyes hurt from the 3DS thing.
And it's so big and heavy comparatively.
I like the Lite. I broke mine trying to swap the case out. So I just use my big 2DS now, the clamshell 2DS. But I really liked how crisp that screen was.
What does the clamshell 2DS look like?
It looks just like a 3DS. It's essentially like
okay. Oh, but it flips. It's not a weird like iPad mini.
It's not a Wedge. Yeah. It just doesn't have 3D. Which makes it a little lighter, and the battery lasts a little longer.
We don't need 3D, guys. If you're at home, that's going to hurt your eyes. They thought they could. They can't.
Every time they think they can.
Technology's not there
yet. Just doesn't take.
So last week, we ended our journey in Aspertia City, and we're headed towards Virbank City. But Drew, what was your journey through Aspertia like with Dr. Ew?
It was pretty good. I found that dog so fast. And then I forgot because I was like, and I even just played, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to fight Team Plasma. And then he's like, he just runs away. And you're like, okay.
And like usual, we just let him go.
Well, yeah, what am I going to do? I'm 14, I think. These kids are older than in the first Black and White. And then I kicked Sharon's ass. Yeah,
probably true.
Got on the map and then went down and then I caught like my good team, my core team, I'll call them, which is my Venipede, Tammy Craps, and my Magnemite in Burbank.
And what's the inspiration for Tammy Craps?
For Tammy Craps was the I Think You Should Leave sketch with the
oh my God.
The dolls, the doll that doesn't have farts in its head anymore.
Okay.
That's my Tammy Craps. And then I got my MacBook Pro, which is my Magnemite, who I've trained out.
What's so tell us a little bit about your naming convention. Is it just whatever strikes you?
Whatever feels
Sometimes it's whatever strikes me. My last playthrough, I was doing all I'm a big 76ers fan, so I was doing all like my team was like the names of the starting lineup. And
it's just Ben Simmons 6 times.
That's my it's my pat rat is Ben Simmons. And then I pay him in the box.
Laughing like I know who that is.
Oh, Josh, it's NBA humor.
It's NBA. That's on the on the Patreon.
So you were naming all your guys after 76ers, but now
I was doing 76ers, and then whenever I'm playing next to my girlfriend Caroline, I'll always be like, what do you think of this guy? And she'll go like, that's Booby, and I'm like, great, that's Booby. It's Booby for the whole run, or like, oh, that's a little goo guy, or like whatever the first thing she reacts to of whatever Pokemon show her. I'm like, great, that's the name.
Josh and I got perilously close to this season having our spouses choose and name all of our Pokemon for us. So you're essentially
like choose our Pokedex.
Alternate lifestyle.
Like choose like you'll be like, okay, here's all the Pokemon here. Which one should I get?
Yeah,
I think we would do it like at the top of the. We may still do it.
Spouse lock.
I think we'll probably do it at some
Pokemon spouse lock.
Yeah, it's just called wedlock.
Yeah, spouse lock.
Wedlock. Ooh.
Wedlock.
Ooh.
We were just gonna show them the full list and be like, choose the ones we're allowed to catch, like regardless of evolutions, of legendary status.
Yeah, I don't know, Basculin. Okay, shit, I gotta run Basculin the whole game. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. It would provide a unique challenge. Mm-hmm. Cool. So you took care of Sharon, and now you've caught up with Slanesh and Mr. Wright in Virbank City.
Mm-hmm. We're all hanging out, and we're talking about like, should we go to the concert tonight? And then we walk in on a family, a really loud family dispute in the middle of the streets in Virbank City.
Oh yeah.
The minute we walk in.
And it's like the gym leader, and then is the daughter of the captain/mayor. Like the mayor's her dad, right? And I saw some character was like, well, once Roxie started becoming like a movie star and a rock star, then the dad was like, I can't just be the mayor, I have to be an actor too, because there's the Pokéstar Studios here. And
double hyphenate.
He's upset about the daughter being
upset
this,
that
like, gym leader and rock star.
Yeah. I read it as that, but also read it as like, I feel like there's the two where it's like he wants to upstage his daughter because he's like, my daughter's so popular and I have all this fragile insecurities and I need to, for some reason, upstage her. Or the way I read it, it sort of seems like he's pleading. Like he's like, I mean, I'm so inspired by what you do and that you can do both and that you're good at both. And I think I can be, I've been sailing back and forth and I've been thinking about it. I think I could be a pretty good actor.
So you think
what a wholesome interpretation
that he is so inspired by his daughter and not
defending
envious.
him, he's supporting him.
Yes,
okay. Supporting him on his creative journey.
On his creative journey, you can do both. To ship captains out there, send in audition. You can self-tape from ships. You can. You can just do it on your phone. Do both.
Yeah, I do like the.
That's why I became a
Pokemon
podcaster. You know.
Yes.
So you've got MacBook Pro on your team. I assume that you made quick and easy work of Roxie then.
I did, and my favorite, I took a screenshot of
the poison type trainer.
There's a guy, yes, the poison. And also, I saw this as a tweet, but I agree with it. I've battled this gym now twice because I reset. I still don't really know what's strong against poison.
Psychic.
That's a good question. You'll have to ask the expert,
ground.
Josh. I obviously have no idea.
No idea. I just go because in my head I'm like, well, they're bug poison, so as long as I have a bird, I should be good.
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought would be helpful to me, and then I forgot that. Well, I didn't know they were going to have coughings as well, but one of my Pokemon learned confusion in the gym, and then that saved me.
Who learns confusion?
Psyduck.
Oh yeah, oh good guy.
Level 15. That saved my life. Although it's rest and petals to that Psyduck as well.
What a shit show.
what a send off. This is my favorite guy. I screenshotted him. He's right outside the gym and he goes, Roxie's poison is intense. It stings and stings. But then I just caught a Magnemite in the yard and I was fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did too.
Oh, if only.
Just catch a Magnemite, train it up, and then you're good for the whole gym.
Thundershock and Sonic Boom.
Cool. Well, we should talk about our teams then, and then get battling, I think.
So we'll do a level check.
Should we talk the studios? Did you guys go all the way up to the studios?
Oh, I didn't do the studios yet. They were still closed off.
Oh, well, it starts right after
the gym, probably.
Yeah, it's like a
oh, that's where
because that's where the scout is like, because he's like, hey, I was watching you, which is actually, if you guys a little exclusive, that's how I was discovered. I was at the Virbank gym.
Tell us.
I was at the Virbank gym and I Sonic boomed the hell out of Maxie, and then a scout was like, hey, do you want to like be in movies? There's the this movie.
We're looking for someone with that kind of talent.
I can tell by the way you didn't say anything. And the way you pointed that you're going to be awesome at acting.
We need someone with Sonic Boom on their team.
We haven't gone up there yet. What are the highlights?
Studios are weird, but it's huge. I forgot. I was finally walking around. I realized I hadn't walked around before, but it's like there's like 3 big buildings and then a bunch of people to talk to. And the first thing you do is like you meet the captain's there, and he's like, "Hey, I just did a movie. Do you guys want to see it?" And then
it's called Captain
like,
Phillips.
Yeah, it's called the Riolu Kid.
Wait, really?
And it's like,
that sounds fun. Oh, he does like karate.
He does karate, and it's like a battle movie. And then so like the idea is like every movie you do is like a mini battle. And the other actor is Bryce, the ice type Jim from Black and White.
Oh my god.
He's not a gym leader in this game. He retired and then became an actor.
Oh,
he probably got scouted by that same guy.
He got scouted. That same guy was like, "Hey, I watch you beat those 10-year-olds. You should be an actor. You should come to West Unova now."
Yeah. And that's what freed up all this space for Roxie. Somebody else must have retired for Sharon too.
That's the thing. I guess Lenora did.
Was it Lenora was the basic type in the last one?
Yeah. Oh right, yeah.
So I guess she's full-time scientist.
Full time. Yeah, must be
archaeologist.
Yeah.
And then I after talking to a lot of people at the thing, I found out like as you do more, I think you have to do like 5 movies or something. I didn't do all that. I just did like 1 movie. So the end of the thing. So
you actually act in them?
You actually act in this. That's the thing. The captain, you watch the captain's movie against Bryce, and then you watch on the bottom screen, it's the audience reacting. And the audience hates it, and they fall asleep during the movie, and then they all leave. And then you walk out, and the captain's just like, it's just ... And then the scout's like, "Hey, how'd you like it?" And he's just like, I can't do this anymore. And like, you watch this man's heartbreak.
His life is destroyed. He changed careers for this. He gave up his gym.
Hard left. Yeah, gave up his gym, and then the guy's like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go back to the sea."
So his daughter has eclipsed him as he feared.
Fully. Wow. And I think, but he then realizes like, "Oh, I was doing this for attention. Oh, I'm so sorry." And then there's a scene with the daughter. But then you do a movie, and then you see how it's like, and then the psychic gym leader from Gen 1. She's
Sabrina.
Sabrina. She's an actor. In this. Sabrina's another actor you unlock after couple. Like you have to do like a lot of them, but then you unlock Sabrina as like your foe.
Do you get anything out of this? Do you get fame, fortune?
No.
What's the point of doing all these movies?
They're like worse Pokemon contests.
That's a low bar.
I know.
Is it even worse? Is it compelled?
Than that? Are they what?
Is it compelled, or are you forced to do it to progress the story?
You have to do one.
Oh, okay.
You have to do just one.
As long as they don't keep making me do them.
My goal to make one that's so bad that it gets like a cult following. That sounds fun.
You made the room of the Pokemon world.
Yeah, exactly. They're hurling pumpkaboos up on the stage.
Fun screening. Yeah, it's tossing a football in the aisles. Who's the football Pokemon?
Cool. Well, let's talk about our team and our teams, and then let's mash them together, and then we will see you off, and then Josh and I will complain about
Kingslocke. Rant about what happened to us this week with Kingslocke. So level check.
Drew, you're the guest. Why don't you?
I'll start with the level checks. Thank you.
Why don't you start with the level check?
I will start with this is Dr. Oo's team to face on the world. Nuzlocke's team. I have first off a duat that Caroline named Lil Otter.
That's cute.
And
it's straightforward. Also, we have all 3 starters. That's fun.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Here's Snivy.
Yeah.
I mean, my Tepig's trapped in a box.
I hate Snivy. I just want to say real quick, that's my Drew's yuck Pokemon of the millennium. Snivy sucks. I've never once used Snivy. I bet it's Snivy. Whatever it is, I hate it. I hate what it evolves into. I think it's weird. Yeah. I just don't. And I love grass Pokemon. I lean towards grass, but I've never once done a run. I've played both of these games a lot, and I pee you.
It's so snooty. But that's why I picked it for my regal run here.
Yes, you have your King's Temple.
I get the impression people are not a big fan of Snivy Snivy.
I feel like I see it I don't know, I don't know. I feel like people use it and they like it, and all power to them, but
yeah, we're not here to yuck yumps.
We're not here to yuck
your
yumps.
segment is literally called Yuck of the Millennium.
This is the Yuck of the Millennium. Gets his own sticker and bumper, and it's Snivy.
Well, mine is not boxed, so you will have to look at it, unfortunately for you.
Matt Schultz, if you can do, please get us some music for Dr. U's Yuck of the Millennium. That would be great.
Millennium.
We could get some use out of that one.
Like the
you know what I was thinking the other day, because we, listening to other podcasts, I guess I'll give a shout out to Who Weekly, Bobby's show, where they do Whomies. They do an award show at the end of the year. I was realizing we should start doing an end of the year show where we do Yuck of the Millennium,
Yeah.
You make me barf of the year, the sweetest of the year.
Yeah. And especially on years where there's a new game, with the new the day of recording, this is the day Legends of Arceus comes out.
Yeah.
Oh right.
That is today. Yeah. And I will be getting that this weekend.
In a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
you'll record it in 2024.
Yeah, we
That's the thing about recording a Pokemon podcast, though, is I saw it was out and I was like, I could buy that. And it's like, do I really want to be playing more Pokemon?
Pokemon
I'd like to play other games that aren't Pokemon.
Yes, yeah.
Too. I am a general gaming fan, so at a certain point we have to draw the line.
Once I put this down, I'm picking up Brilliant Diamond, going back to it.
Fair.
All right, so you've got Dewott.
Yes.
What level's Dewott at?
Dewott is at 18. They have a timid nature, little otter, and they know Razor Shell now, which is awesome. Then next up, I have a herdier named Rona, after me and Caroline's puppy dog Rona, and
that's a good name, Corona.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it a Rona purchase? Okay.
It was. Caroline adopted her during the pandemic last. It would have been last summer. And yeah, she's
beautiful,
like a 3-year-old Chihuahua mix, and she's the most perfect. And that's my sweetie of the millennium. New bumper.
Matt, we're gonna need another sound drop.
So that's my herdier, Rona at 18. I have a P-Dove or P-Dove.
I've been doing P-Dove.
P-Dove
sounds
follow your heart.
Cuter.
Yeah. P-Dove. I named him Larry Bird. And level 18. Doing pretty good. And then here's my big champion is Tammy Craps, the Venipede, knowing Venoshock and Rollout, and that's at 18. And then my Magnemite MacBook Pro at level 19.
Oh, boy.
And then I have a Patrat who I just named HM Friend, who knows God, and is level 10.
Thank
but
you
it's just
for
hanging
using
around.
The proper terminology.
Friend. He's my friend. Have you guys seen the Bidoof short?
Yeah.
Oh, I did watch
sweet.
that. Yeah.
So sweet.
And it's cute.
I'll admit that Bidoof short gave some Bidoof got some credit from me with
you
that.
Like it? You like Bidoof now?
Well,
like
also
Bidoof
the
now.
Bidoofs in Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia as a punchline was really funny with that one guy summoning 8 of them. Bidoof, it seems the thing that I am starting to realize about Bidoof that I like is that the whole Pokemon franchise regards it as a joke, it seems.
Yeah.
And that's fun. I like that it's kind of self-aware that it's a joke.
That used to be Magikarp, but the thing about Magikarp is it evolves into Gyarados. The nice part about Bidoof is it's always just a little clown Pokemon.
I know, it just gets it just gets bigger and a little more lazier.
Bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
And it sits. It goes from walking to sitting.
Joshua, how's Mr. Wright's team doing this week?
Well, I'll tell you that Mr. Wright is a little jealous of Dr. Yu having 6 Pokemon. That would be nice.
Yeah, so is Slanesh.
Oh, I also Nuzlocke cheated.
I'm suddenly very worried about this battle.
Oh, I believe that we're looking at transfer of the IP once again.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Wright, I almost said Dr. Yu, Mr. Wright, Jesus. So Mr. Wright, who believes in the divine right of
got his
kings,
doctorate.
Divine right.
Dr. Wright, he is collecting Pokemon that he believes are the descended upon high to rule the world. So Wilhelmina is Snivy, level 15. There will be an explanation. There's a couple of explanations, to be honest, for why these levels are so low.
Welcome back, Snivy.
Louis the 16th.
Snivy boxed?
No,
we pulled
these are
Snivy
the
out
ones that
last
are
week.
in. These are the ones that are in the team. There are boxed Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have Louis the 16th, which is a new one. P-Dove, level 15. Because P-Dove, if it ever makes it, evolves into Unfazant with the little mask because it's a male. And that felt very like, Louis the 16th, so extravagant.
It is very French.
Yeah, it's very French. Then we have Cleopatra, who is new, obviously, as well. Venipede, level 16. Really liking this thing. Never run one of these.
It's pretty great.
And
The one we faced off, the one that Roxie had that we faced off against was...
Oh, the Whirlipede.
Was that's
also.
Venipede?
She had a
their
Venipede
evolution?
and Whirlipede, I think.
Mhm.
Both of them.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And hers evolves early because I was like, great, I just got to get to 18. I was like, I like the roll. What's it called? Whirlipede. I like Whirlipede a lot.
Whirlipede.
Yeah. And I'd always been curious about the line. So who knows if it'll ever make it, but I think it would be kind of interesting to run a Scolipede, the final one. I like the design for especially, bug poison category. Poison in particular, but... And then we got the Last Emperor, who is back because, as I told you, my death card was not a boxing the longest running Pokemon. It is any of them that faint die. And Puyi, Sawaddle, still level 2.
Hey, welcome back to the team, Sawaddle. We'll get you caught up with the others.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to after this because of what happened to me this week. I will have to put in time of Sawaddle finally, and then I've got a new one, Maria Theresa, the Queen of Austria-Hungary, who had some fun hairstyles that sort of evoked an Audino for me.
Oh, okay.
She's very pasty white, like Audino. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. This thing's
Audinos
probably
are
not going
pretty
to make
rare,
it.
aren't they?
So this was great. Where I was at when I got the Audino was that I had drawn a queen, which is something. It's got some fun name that's I think I wrote it down. A ship came into the harbor, and I could catch any mon that would fill up my party. So that's how I got P-Dove, and then an Audino because there was rustling grass for the last one. So I got an Audino, but
your
it's
party's
level 2.
not full.
Level 2. Nope, that's because somebody died after that card. Someone died when I got the card while I was out in the wild, and then someone would later die. So that's Mr. Wright.
We'll get
Wright.
into that.
What about Slaanesh?
Slaanesh, the Dark Prince of Pleasure. Slaanesh had to send their entire party back to the Chaos Realm this week and catch an entirely new party. So we've got some new Chaos Lords in the mix. We've got Jorish, the Warsmith, Magnemite, level 18.
Warsmith.
We've got Warhammer guys, right? Is this a...
Yeah. Yeah. We've got Umbrag of the Brazen Flesh, Riolu, level 15.
Ooh, that's
Nice.
a good one.
We've got Torkvar the Second, Sawaddle, level 15. Torkvar the Dread is no longer with us.
Rest in
And
peace.
then Furion, the Growlithe, level 14. And that's it. I only have 4
that's a
Pokemon
good
on
one.
my
Where
team.
are Growliths even?
In the complex.
The factory,
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't see that.
And maybe it might just
could
be a black thing.
It could be a difference. Yeah, I got white.
Oh, yeah. It might be. I think the other one. So what else is in the...
Here, let's go look.
Yeah.
I was seeing a lot of P-Doves, Petrats, Elikids, Magnemites. Can't remember anything else off the top of my head.
No, yeah, inside.
Oh.
No, Growlithe is in both.
Oh.
Elekid is mine. You don't have Elekid.
No, we have Elekid.
Yeah, we have Elekid.
I have Magby. You guys have
We don't have Magby,
which makes sense.
Unfortunately.
Surfing.
So
But you guys can go catch a Growlithe too if you want. They're waiting.
Everyone
for you.
listening can catch a Growlithe
Yeah.
if they would like.
So let's see what happens. I guess
do this
I'm
thing.
not feeling hyper confident with a 4-person team,
The
but
doctor's in.
at least
though.
my levels are better than yours, Josh.
And I'll say, how depressing do you think it was that I had to take the time to enter 2 level 2 Pokemon
Yeah.
and look at their moves, which I obviously
and
had
enter
no
them.
idea what they were.
Into show
And
I'm gonna guess
their
it's
stats.
tackle, tail whip, leer.
They know Kenai.
So I think
all
I'm
right.
going to lose one way or another, but let's give it a shot.
Real quick trainer tip.
Yeah.
If you want to level up, if you just run around before you go into the Virbank complex,
Yeah.
Audinos, the wrestling grass comes up like super easily.
Oh, in the area that's like
before that like grassy
to...
area. That's how. So I think that's why I'm a little higher leveled, is because I was down before the gym. So I was like, let me just get up like 2 more levels. And then I realized I was like, oh, if I just run for like 1 comes a minute, basically. It doesn't take that long.
Wow.
For an Audino to come in. Then you get
Pretty
like
good.
900 EXP or whatever.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay.
I should also clarify a Kingslocke rule is Josh and I decided this week that you are allowed to go back to previous routes, but you do have to draw a card. So there's
okay. So if you lose a one, you can go back to the ranch, and then you have to.
But your problems can multiply,
and then you'll have to lose someone else or positive.
Yeah. Well, my problems multiplied by doing that, but
yeah. All right, bug catchers, we will be back in a moment. Josh and I are going to battle to begin with, and then the winner of that battle will take on Dr. Ew. We will be back in just a second to let you know who won, whether it was me or whether it was Josh.
Round 1, fight.
Woo! Josh.
I've drawn death again.
You lost.
I lost big time. Well,
which is
I got a couple.
Pretty
bittersweet for me.
It had an underdog Rocky sort of vibe to it, because it was like you got close, but then you didn't win, but like you won respect.
Hearts and minds.
You won hearts and minds. That's pretty good.
Louis the 16th got a couple KOs in there, but Magnemite, Tanner opened with Magnemite and I opened with Snivy, and that's just, I opened with I don't even remember. Who cares?
You open with
but I just don't have any way of actually hitting Magnemite with anything other than not very effective.
You opened it with Venipede. Pokemon. You did Venipede, and then all the rollouts.
I tried to do rollouts.
The Paralyzed,
but
messed up the rollouts.
Yeah, Tanner had Supersonic that hit immediately, and then Thunder Wave, and so I started ramping up the rollouts, but then I just paralyzed, so I lost momentum and then dead. But got it down to low enough, I think, with Snivy that eventually I was able to bring out P-Dove and Quick Attack and kill it. And then P-Dove was actually set up relatively well. Riolu got hit with a couple of air cutters. That took that one. And then,
Riolu is surprisingly weak against, not your team, but at least P-Dove.
Yeah, it's not steel yet. It's just fighting.
Oh, yeah.
But Growlithe was a big problem. And then
Growlithe was just playing with you, just like a cat would, right? Like batted your
famous
Audino.
Cat Growlithe.
Famous cat Pokemon. It's the puppy
Growlithe's
Pokemon,
not a cat.
Tanner.
It's the puppy, and it evolves
into a tiger. You've seen a cat before?
They're presented as Meowth and Growlithe. It's like
they're the counterparts in the original games, and their Growlithe's Pokédex definition is the puppy Pokemon. And I've gone over this several times with you, Tanner.
Well, I beat you, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's a cat.
I'm king of Pokemon, so
because then I just
had
Sewaddle and fucking Audino level 2, so that was so sad. Anyway, respete to Tanner.
Unfortunately, what it means is that I have to be the one to take on Drew with his 6 Pokemon team, 5 of which are
my Audino stacked
higher
after
levels than mine.
Killing all the Audinos in town.
So, bug catchers, we'll be back in just a moment to celebrate Drew's victory. Oh wait, I have to do my signature line that I pitched to Josh earlier this week.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Drew, you're famous for your on-screen deaths. But after this, you're going to be famous for your on-Pokemon Showdown deaths, too.
Oh!
All right.
He didn't even have to workshop it. He just threw that at me.
That was
and
perfect.
I was like,
yeah.
It's gold.
It's ready. That was amazing.
Round 2, fight.
All right, I take back what I said about how you're going to be famous for Pokemon Showdown deaths. You destroyed me.
This is the first time I've stayed alive. I'm proud it could be on Experience Share.
Instead, you can now be famous for our podcast and taking it from us, because that's what we want to do when we lose, inevitably.
Oh my! I really appreciate
you get the IP
opportunity. I have the IP, and I'm a Pokéstar Studios star. Like, this was a really great trip for me.
You've accomplished Roxie's dad's dreams of being a multifaceted talent.
That is the funny thing about the plot is like, you can't be a star. I'm going to be a star.
I did manage to take care of your herdier, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Congratulations. You destroyed me. There's not much to talk about because it was just a thorough
think about that. No, it was essentially, obviously, Drew's Pokemon are well leveled. There's evolutions, which is nice. But then also they have good matchups against the types that Tanner has on top of it.
Yeah, so you're well matched against.
I got lucky with that first one because I think you probably anticipated I was going to pick Magnemite, which I almost did.
I assumed you would, yeah.
And then I got lucky on that first one, took out your Growlithe.
Yeah.
And then my Tammy Crap screamed at you until all your defenses were so low.
Yeah, the Magnemite actually could go down quickly, which I struggled with. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Drew. The show is yours to do with.
The proudest I've ever been. I love you guys, and this has been fantastic.
Can we keep recording it, or it's up to you, really?
Please.
You don't have to decide right now.
No,
you can let us know afterwards.
I will decide, but you have till the weekend, and then on Monday, business day Monday, we're gonna have a
EOD.
Right. Well, you're gonna bring in some new guys, some new talent.
These are the suits. These are the experienced jazz suits.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Drew, and congratulations once again.
Thanks for coming on,
we're gonna see you off, but Bugcatchers, we're gonna keep talking for a few more minutes about some of the more Kingslocke stuff. But Drew, is there anything you want to tell the Bugcatchers about?
What are you working on other than this podcast?
I'm working on this I'm promoting keep playing Pokemon. Everyone, it's great. Friend me on Switch, and I'll trade you. I want Munchlax. Give me a Munchlax. And I was.
Whatever you can speak about.
What can I speak?
Or where can people find you? What's your favorite?
You can find me on Instagram at Drew Scheid. I have a Twitter, and I only use it to just kind of tweet about the 76ers and stuff. So if you're not interested in that, I wouldn't go on there. But my Instagram's fine. That's normal. That's just stuff I like. And then I will be in a I got to be on this wonderful show that's coming out this spring. I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I don't think that's been announced yet. But it's a show called The Thing About Pam. It's based on a true story. There was a podcast about it that Dateline did. And I won't go into the whole story, but I highly recommend listening to the podcast. It's 6 episodes. Keith Morrison narrates the whole thing. It's a nut story. It's a
nonfiction,
true crime story that happened in Missouri. This tragic murder of Betsy Faria and the stuff that happened after. Not hell yes. Not Elias, but this story I think is really well put together. I'm really proud of it's going to be really cool. It's Renee Zellweger playing Pam, and it's a hell yeah. It's going to be a cool. I'm very excited to see it. Like every day, I was just like, this is going to be good. I only have a small. I play her son Travis, and I'm just kind of like with her. I'm like her like. I'd almost say prop. I'd almost say Pam uses her son Travis to like prop her and like just kind of be there and I just kind of help her and she hovers around me. So it was a very fun role to just watch. That's all.
There's worse things to be than Renee Zellweger's prop. I think.
Oh my god, it was amazing. It was the greatest. Like just every day getting to watch her. It was just like awesome. I'm so excited.
Well, I hope you live as well.
I won't say.
Yeah.
You've got some very fun parts you've played. Sweaty teen boy.
I think were you drunk teen? I think on
drunk teen.
Yeah. I was drunk teen. That was the greatest. Everything in the whole universe. That was wonderful. That was my first role, and so when they asked, they're like, "Can you be sweaty teen boy?" And I'm like, "I've been sweaty teen boy for 20 years. I am the sweatiest guy in the world." Fun on that they were because my character's name's Sweaty Teen Boy. They were sweating up the other kids in the gym, like, to make them look more sweatier. And then they came to me and they looked at me and they went, "Oh my god!" And then they like dabbed me. Like, you're visibly way too sweaty for Sweaty Teen Boy.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Drew. We will say goodbye to you now.
Thank you for coming on,
Joshua and Bugcatchers. We will see all of you.
Good luck on the Kingslocke, boys.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Joshua, welcome back.
Welcome.
Drew is no longer with us. He's passed on to the rest of his day.
Yeah.
Whatever he had to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah. We didn't want to bore him with our tales of misery here. I think for the most part, tales of misery.
We have a few more segments to cover off on before we can call it a day. We've done our level checks and we've talked a little bit about the journey so far. But I want to reintroduce a segment from Nuzlocke Runs Past.
Okay.
It's slightly different. Back then it was called Kill Count.
That's right.
But now it's more like box count, right?
Yeah, boxed.
Or some combination of the two.
I mean,
sometimes Pokemon will die.
They've gone to the ether. I feel like it's still basically kill count because we don't know if we're ever going to see these things again.
Well, welcome back, Kill Count. Tell me about all the special Mon you lost this week.
I lost 2. As I alluded to, one of them was as I had then drawn a queen. I guess I should go over my entire kind of like what happened here. I'll quickly go through my journey to the point where the first Pokemon dies, which is that, as I mentioned, I figured out death was not a mate. It was actually that any Pokemon that faints is boxed, and it can only come out when they are petrified. And they can only be freed except by the effect of the sun. So I have to draw the sun. Okay?
Okay.
That seems pretty unlikely.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Seems like it's going to be a long time. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, well, now I really can't like risk throwing these Mon around super. That's why I didn't train Puyi, because I just didn't want it to die quickly.
Right.
And the other reason that I couldn't really train it quickly was that when I went on to Route 19 for the first time to trace my way from Aspertia City to Virbank, is that I drew the Hanged Man. So here's why my Pokemon are not evolved. I can't evolve my Pokemon.
Can't evolve them.
And I can't catch
Josh, I think we made a real
either.
mistake deciding that we could go back to old routes to train. I mean, I just don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
Well, this one we had to because we had to go from Aspertia to get up to Virbank, but right. I do, but I also think it would be kind of not playing it authentically if we allowed ourselves to go back to other routes and not draw cards.
Without drawing a card.
Like, I think if we're going to do this, we really have to suffer. Like, I think you're supposed to.
Well, I'm suffering quite a bit, Josh.
Well, let me finish my suffering. Because it gets very bad. Because after I get the Hangman, I was like, oh shit, like, I can't evolve my Pokemon. Although I did get to catch a Mon. You get to catch one. And it was Purloin is who I...
Could have caught a better one.
Which was Caligula, is what I decided to name it. Sort of dastardly. It's you only get to catch the first unevolved Pokemon you see. So that was what I got. Purloin.
Okay.
At least it's dark. And then I wanted to do some training. So after healing, I go back to 19. And then I trigger another card. And then I get the Hierophant. Hierophant? Who knows?
Yeah. Which one's that?
So Hierophant.
Is this the one you had to text me about?
Yeah. No, not yet. Hierophant is I have to pay a tithe whenever I need to use the Pokemon Center.
Oh, right.
So the tithe is equal to the number of badges you have earned times 1,000. So at least I only have one. But to heal, I then had to start paying $1,000, and to do that, you have to buy and then immediately throw away items. So I would buy one super potion for 700, and then one potion, or one Pokeball, I can't remember, that's 300. So I went from about 10,000 at the beginning of this to ultimately having just under 2,000 by the end of this leg. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I can't just randomly even fucking train these Pokemon now. I can still use potions, but I'm just running through money, and I don't have a big bank account. So I basically just decide to trudge onward. So on Route 20, that's where I get one fortunate thing happens, which is that I draw 5. So that cancels out my previous 5, which is great. So now I can use any gender Pokemon at least. That's good.
Okay.
What I draw next, actually, I go back and I do spend 1,000 to do healing because by the time I finally made it to the gate, there was a trainer left that I had to avoid fighting because my Pokemon were all about to die. So I go in, I pay the tithe, and then I go back out because I want to get that trainer and I want the EXP. And I draw a Queen of Wands, which is great. That's the one I mentioned where you get to catch as many Pokemon as you want to fill your party out. And
that sounds great.
At the time I had 5, and then I go up to fight this lady, and she's got a Dunsparce level 10, and I have my level 9 Purloin, and the Purloin comes out, and I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to scratch this thing a few times, and it does a rollout, and the rollout doesn't do very much, does another rollout, doesn't do much, and then I get it down to like probably one more scratch, and then its third rollout KOs Purloin. So boxed to the netherworld.
Oh, right, because you still have... Which one? Which one's the one that's sending all your the death card?
Death card with the Parasect.
Yeah.
And so with that, then I have 2 open slots, and I think that allowed me to, like, at that point, you know, I caught them on. So I did get to catch... and I caught a Venipede with that 5 previously, because you get to catch the first guy. Right. And then I get to catch a P-Dove and an Audino as well. So that's where they came from, and wow. That's how I got. So
in the box is Purloin and whom?
Okay, so the other one is Psyduck, because George III was my ringer in the gym, because he learned Confusion at level 15, which he leveled up into on like the first battle in there, and there's 2 minions and then Roxie. So he's killing them, and I go out once, and here's what I'll say my other cards, I guess. I end up getting a Chariot the first time I walk into the gym, which is it expands my fucking Major Arcana up to 5 slots. So now I can have 5 of these nightmares. And when I come back, because I had to heal before I went in to fight Roxie, then I get the Moon. And the Moon, let me look that up. Oh my god. The Moon.
God,
oh my god. Yeah, the Moon.
Brutal.
I can no longer check information from any reference resources outside the game.
So you can't
other than looking up things to comply with the rules like this. And I can't use the walkthrough unless I need to like check that there's somewhere to where I need to draw a card that I'm not sure about. So that's a nightmare. And Psyduck died because on Roxy's fight with Whirlipede that he had gotten down to like half hit points. She got him down to 3, and then I tried to swap him, and then it used Pursuit and killed it. So Psyduck was level 17, and it was easily my best mon, and it's wiped. And then I guess while we're on me, we'll talk about what you referenced, Tanner, which is that I drew a Page of Cups when I entered the complex. And Page is the rule one, bug catchers. So that lets your observer make a rule. And in this case, it can either be... The suggestions are that you can revoke all of the existing cards that are out, or you can free any or all or none of your petrified Pokemon, or you can make up a new one or change rules. And Tanner decided to change rules, which
I essentially just took all your active Arcana cards and gave you the choice of reversing them, throwing any one of them away, but you would have to reverse their effect.
Yeah. So why Psyduck died is that the other reason is that I chose to inverse the Hierophant. So that I literally was about to run out of money, so I couldn't keep tithing the Pokemon Center, but I can't use potions anymore. And I still have Death, and I'm going to have Death for a long time because now I have fucking Chariot, so now I had to clear all these other cards before I bump it off. But
I tried to give you an opportunity.
No, I
tried to give you the chance to clear Death.
I still think that preventing the tithing is better, because at least I can infinite heal.
Yep.
But so that's where I'm at. So where are you at, Tanner?
I'll go through mine super fast.
Yeah, sorry, my story was long, but I had to address.
No, it's all right.
Mine are fucking
I know
a complex mess.
What a nightmare all of this is. So I did the same thing. I started like running back to old roots, and the first thing I did was run back to. I got a Page of Pentacles, which is like teach everyone the same TM, and I taught everyone Return, which didn't actually matter much because.
That was my other
a second later, I drew, on Route 20, I drew the Fool, which you can trade out any PC Pokemon for one in your party, but I didn't have any PC Pokemon at that point, so it was null.
Oh, that's a nice one, eventually.
And then, once I got to Floccesy Ranch, I pulled the King, which is the one where you have to choose one Pokemon and send them to the Vessel, which is like essentially super
the King's
them.
Cup.
Like they're like boxed forever.
Oh my god, really? Okay, so there is a permadeath.
I mean, no, not really. Like he will come out if the King goes away, which it will if I draw more.
If there are ever 4 Pokemon in the Vessel, those Pokemon immediately become your new party.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I pulled the tower, which is, if I remember correctly, I don't have my rules with me.
I think that's like arguably the worst one, it seemed like.
I had to send my entire team back to the box, which luckily at that point only consisted of Tepig and Psyduck, but Tepig caught Pokerus from Psyduck. So the two I have with Pokerus are like locked in the box.
Well, they don't lose it while they're in the box though, because they're like
I know, but like they're not spreading it to other people in my team while they're in the box.
Jesus.
So then I had to if you clear your team when you draw the tower, you have the opportunity to catch a new Pokemon in this area. So that's where I caught Riolu. And then the only other sort of like notable things that happened to me this week are I drew a 4 of Swords when I was in Virbank Plaza.
And
or Virbank Complex.
I haven't gotten a 4 yet.
4 is elemental, which means that until I draw another 4, I can't use stab attacks.
That's so bad. Jesus. I
so
thought
my
mine
whole
were
gym
bad.
battle with Roxie was me using Magnemite, using Tackle and Supersonic on Magnemite through the whole gym.
Hachi Machi.
And like a million potions because I couldn't use Thunderbolt or Magnet Bomb. Wow. So quite a nightmare.
Sorry.
And I am just stuck with that one still. Like I just can't use stab attacks now until I draw another 4. So what a nightmare.
Oh.
That's a brutal card.
Yeah, that's really rough. I thought mine were bad. I actually think you might have done worse.
Now I have to make decisions based on that, you know? Like,
right.
When a Pokemon has a new move, it's like, well, I can't use that.
At least a lot of them have return now, right? So you can use that.
No, because I boxed all those.
Oh, you boxed the return ones.
They all got boxed after they learned return, and I can't teach Pokemon TMs because you can't teach Pokemon TMs in this rule set. So
this is going to be our hardest journey.
We'll see where we end up, but that's the leg.
Oh, and your barf was Magby.
My You Make Me Barf Pokemon was Magby this week in the Virbank Complex.
That's standard stuff. I like Elekid. I think Elekid was vindicated with this sprite. It does a little like pump up jam with its arms, and it's got little fangs. I liked it, and I liked it in Shadows of Almia too. I feel like it's turning around. I don't know.
That's your prerogative, man.
Saying anything about the rest of the line, but I like the Elekid, and I don't.
Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show anywhere that you follow podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify,
Overcast.
Check out the merch.
EXPShareMerch.com or TeePublic EXP Share. And follow us on EXP Share Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the subreddit where we have Trainer of the Week going on, hosted by Mike Levine, where you can do level checks to compete with fellow bug catchers to win some prizes and maybe fight us at the end of the season.
Take on Drew Scheid for the...
and that's reddit.com/r/control
of the show.
Yeah, fight for our IP.
Cool. Josh, bug catchers. See ya.
Smell you later.